What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with the Expedition of the Damned. We are, I'm, of course, the your GM, your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick, and we almost have the full crew of the expedition. Unfortunately, our hand gunner is off on a business trip, and hopefully he'll be back soon. But for now, we have the rest of the crew. If you care to introduce yourselves, and we will get into it. Start with Jumbo Smooth.
Hello, everyone. I am Jumbo Smooth. I play Luther Steinhauer. He's a master pyromancer now. I believe probably the age of 18 currently. He's a human, wizard of the fire school. He's 6'1". He's got red hair and green eyes. Attractive, if that makes a difference. He's got some new robes recently. A little bit more ostentatious than his previous robes. A little redder, a little oranger. They've got some iron workings in it a little bit. Maybe some of them are ablaze with fire. Who knows? It looks cool. I have a magical golem made of steel and fire. His name is Ignis. And I have a horse named Felicity.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, that's red.
That's right. Trust. Let's slide on over to Nate.
Everybody, Nate here. I'll be playing Lucien Levesque, human duelist. Now level 3 in his career, duel master.
Duel master.
Looking forward to hopefully getting a quality rapier sometime soon.
You do get a quality rapier.
Maybe a buddy. I'm 5'6" or so, shoulder length, dark hair, wielding a rapier, pistol, and sometimes a repeating crossbow.
Occasionally.
Oh,
I like it. Let's slide on over to Nog.
Oh yeah,
the Dan Decker.
Right. Oh yeah, Dan Decker playing Nog Throatripper, or is it Nog Throatripper playing Dan Decker? Yeah, I'll never know. No, 10.5-foot ogre, the big heavy for the group, and I like to get in and tear small things to shreds and then eat them. Got me a nice little shock of black hair, covered though by my fancy hat. My companion cook Rory Rumster, the halfling, constant companion, and then of course my very best friend in the world is Mr. Luther. Nog knows no other friend greater in the world than Luther. And recently becoming a ballistics man myself, so the group is not short a gunner, just short their seasoned gunner. Recently advancing along the way, I get to shoot things now, so that'll be fun. And I can breathe fire now, and hopefully my gut plate will be nice and fixed, all nice and fixed.
So. You got a new one.
Yeah, we got it back. Oh, good. Yeah.
So
gut plate.
Let's finish it out then. Doobie29.
Hello.
Stage.
I play Henry Berthold, a now 17-year-old, still not of age, 6'1", white-haired, blue-eyed knight, incredibly attractive, a physical specimen. White hair that is probably about shoulder length, we'll say. Strong jawline.
Strong jaw.
And recently just became fearless to chaos. My last little level up.
Sure, fearless. Yeah,
just
we'll call it
sprinkle that out there so people can follow along.
Yeah, we'll call it that, fearless.
And he's been claimed as one of the heroes of the Sheik. He's just doing his job. That's all.
Just doing his job. What a humble man.
Humble.
Indeed. Well, unfortunately, our handgunner's not with us tonight, but Wolfram is always in our thoughts. Of quite literally. But last we left off, the crew of the expedition got to take part in a grand celebration after the defeat of Dwight Skull's Wah at the hands of the expedition, mostly leading the charge, rallying the defenders of Lashik to strike out and, in a very opportune moment, cut down the war boss himself. Ultimately, ending in the destruction, at least of the leadership of the Wah, dispersing them to the sands. A grand feast was had the whole night and very well into the next day. All of you partook in a dragon fiery wine at the disposal of the Sultan. Some of you partook of some extra indulgences at the Sultan's palaces, as well as perhaps try to set up a wizard franchise. We did also have tons of merriment and love-making by some of the other party members as well, specifically Lucien, who in the process went to the Coiled Cobra, the House of Ill Repute, the local den of sin within Lashik, where he plied the mistress of the house for some interesting, juicy little morsels. There's a little bit of exchange in more ways than one. Some things that may or may not come to a head, we'll see. At the same time, Henry was confronted with the rearrival of his commander, Dieter Hellwig of the Knights Panther, along with his bloodied, grizzled knights who didn't even bother to wash the grime and the muck from themselves before sitting down for a drink. Very unusual behavior indeed. Well, the mighty Nog went on a binge down with the rest of the other ogres and ended up with having some very bizarre nightmares in the process. But that's to be expected these days, isn't it? Unfortunately, Luther may or may not have had one of the worst days of his life. What started off fantastic ended in his mistress, as he was going to regale her with the tales of the current day's events. It appeared that she has been warped and changed in some way, touched by the dark gods. And as she was approaching Luther, something struck out. Something from possibly within him, possibly attached to him. It's hard to say. Whatever it was, charred and ultimately destroyed the Lady Magister. And unfortunately, a noble apprentice that had nothing but good intentions saw the whole event take place. Witnessing the heresy that Luther had on display, the noble Oliver was going to tell of his foul deeds, when through a strange turn of events, he was shot dead in the hallway by none other than Wolfram, who woke up in shock, thinking that he was shooting the foul rat man in an alley somewhere, but in fact, it was young Oliver, dead. He then proceeded to try to cover up his misdeed, his mistake, very quickly, accusing Luther of some kind of strange demonic possession, leveling another pistol at him before eventually being goaded into retreating and recollecting himself. Luther, somewhat in shock, decided to have a cup of tea after being unable to rouse any of the drunkards around him, and sat there waiting till well into the morning, when he's just sitting on the balcony sipping his tea, sun beginning to rise, when a scream bellows from within as the body of not only Oliver but then the charred remains of the mistress were discovered by some of the servants within the household. An investigation was made, and none other than Nazaro Dialia somewhat spearheaded this investigation, as most of the magisters were unavailable, and through some coercion and perhaps some dark deals, a cover-up was put into place where both Luther and Wolfram agreed that the apprentice went insane with jealousy, killed his mistress, and Wolfram had to put him down. He was like a wild rabid animal. The tale has been spun and placed out there for all to hear, with Nazaro, Luther, and Wolfram entering into a unspoken pact at the moment as to what actually happened. When we went into the rest of our endeavors, all of you did something during the interim, some kind of improvement, some kind of reconciliation, buying and selling goods, various other parts of just gathering resources for the upcoming departure that should now be taking place. Unfortunately, we've got more to cover before we get a move on, because if you remember, some of you did have some trappings and other things that you came into possession of that we did not have ready yet. So, with that, we're going to be doing some short scenes. Unfortunately, Henry, you did not get anything significant that you didn't already have, so this is mostly going to be for the other guys for now. Let's start with Nog. The mighty Nog.
Yeah, that's right.
You and Rory are perusing one last time the you're kind of walking out and about the massive trade marketplace that sits at the center of Lashik. It's gargantuan.
Can I imagine Rory's like Apu the monkey?
Yes, he's on your shoulder, of course.
They scurry him down my shoulder, checking out something in the market, scurries back up. Oh,
sure.
Oh, Nog, Lord Nog, look what we found right over here.
But as you are perusing the wares, Nog, you feel a twinge, almost like you taste something in the air for but a moment. And as you do, your eyes are drawn to a nearby stall where a strange-looking man, quite tall, taller than most humans, Nog, not as tall as you,
No.
is kind of hunched over behind a tattered remnants of cloth. Within, somewhat dark, barely lit by some dim incense. It's kind of strange smelling. You see the man's face is completely shrouded behind his hood. There's a bizarre looking gnarled staff laid against the wall behind him. But something just kind of nudges you in that direction. What do you do, Nog?
Oh, Rory, look at that man over there. What do you think about that?
Well, boss, I think that might be a interesting looking fella. Never seen him before. Perhaps we give it a look-see.
Let's mosey over there, huh?
You the boss.
You kind of begin to kind of move over there. You have to kind of move down to kind of push some of the tattered cloth out of the way to look in. The gentleman's
Put my head down under the little.
Yeah, his kind of long arms kind of motion out. His fingers seem longer than they should be. So he kind of displays them wide. His flesh is rather pale, Nog. He spreads his fingers wide and then motions towards a countertop stand in front of him. Upon it is a single item. It appears to be what looks like a large, almost like case of some kind, Nog. There are two large clasps on the case, almost like an instruments case, Nog. It's quite big. He doesn't speak.
Kind of, I look at him, judge of his demeanor, kind of motion at the case.
I think he wants you to open it, Governor.
Timidly look, so the latch, something Bob would recognize there.
Yeah, the clasps are large, quite large. You easily are able to kind of like thrum them upwards.
All the while, just watching the spooky man.
Yeah, as you open the case, what you see is a large pistol. This would be the size of a handgun for a human being. But for Nog, this is but a pistol. A massive barrel, what looks like an open, gaping maw at the end where the very ebony wood touches the steel. It has what look like ogre writing across it, Nog. Ooh. One might call it a quality work of craftsmanship, rare among ogre kind, perhaps crafted by someone or something else.
That's amazing.
In fact, Nog, this might be tough for you. Go ahead and give me a... you probably don't have this. This would be lore ogre.
So, ogre. I do have lore empire.
This is going to be lore ogre.
Without my, just a straight up lore check.
I will give you a plus 20 for being an ogre.
All right. So that's just base intelligence.
Yes.
Which
plus
we've
20.
determined is above average for an ogre.
You're fairly smart for an ogre.
So that's a big old D1 honey.
Yes, please.
Not bad. 29 under. Well, it's a 26 for my main intelligence score.
With a plus 20, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no, I did good.
Yeah. So you would know, Nog. You've been recounted tales that your great ancestors. There are tales told. Ogre history is not written; it is more spoken.
Right.
And you remember tales told, and you're a man-eater. You've traveled the world. You've seen some things. And there are old tales from the times of the birth of the Great Maw and the ogre kin, where it was told that the mountainous region that they currently live in was once the home of great giants, sky titans, that the ogres consumed, ate down to their bones, and stole from them all of their weapons, which you would know, Nog, especially with that roll, are some of the most prized possessions of all ogre kind. To be in possession of a Sky Titan relic is like having a piece of ancient history, something that will never be seen again. And this appears to have Sky Titan imagery built into it. It is old, very old.
But just, going over it, I look up at the vendor in just stunned. Oh, is that what I think they are? Does that say what I think it does?
He motions his arm across the handgun. And as he does, the images and kind of language on the barrel begins to shift and move and begins to enact a scene. of what looks like a horde of ogres charging into these gargantuan titans. And you see this all like a movie playing out on the
Rory,
barrel.
you see this, Rory?
Rory is, as you say that, Rory is no longer on your shoulder, Nog.
Uh-oh.
Huh? You look back, you watch as the scene shifts to the ogres defeating and consuming the titans themselves, and then bursting into their armory and stealing their prized possessions. One of the things being this very pistol, plucked from an armory. And when you as the tale finishes, the pistol is in your hand, Nog. Rory's on your shoulder. Oh, where'd you find that one, boss? As you look around, you're no longer in a stall, you're just standing out in the marketplace.
Rory, but you saw the fella what was right here.
Rightly know what you're talking about, sir, but if you say so.
I just kind of look at the gun in my hand, a little bewildered. Do I have a holster all of a sudden now, too?
There is, in fact, a large holster.
Oh. I'll look at the gun, do a little.
It's not very graceful, but
No,
sure.
of course not.
Oh.
In Nog's own mind, it was beautiful.
Okay.
It was
Now,
like,
I will
it's
say this holster, due to its size and your gut, it kind of it's not like a front holster. It's not like this like cowboy side. It's like on the front, like it's a draw on the front.
Oh yeah, right off the front of
Yes.
my gut. Yeah, heck yeah, of course.
So,
see my gun, then see my gut. The dog is in town, man.
I will say, so from gameplay purposes, Nog, the quality is because it is a quality pistol.
Yeah.
It does not have the dangerous trait. This gun cannot misfire.
It's legendary.
It cannot misfire. It's built too well.
Take that, Wilfred.
In addition to that, the pistol itself has a range of 50 meters, so 150 feet. That's its kind of like max range.
Yeah.
It has a damage rating of 12.
So it's like my ballistics plus 12?
Basically, so if you deal damage, it's 12
Uh-huh.
plus your success levels in damage.
Gotcha, okay. Got it. Okay, yeah. No, that's making a lot of sense now. Okay. Putting it all together.
All right. The ammunition it shoots can vary. The stuff that you have in your possession is a lead ball. It's basically a small cannonball. It is technically piercing, and it also has the impact quality because it's so big.
Piercing impact.
So the impact for this is going to be based off of your ballistic skill.
Gotcha. Very nice.
So there you go.
Very nice.
Ogre
story, bro.
pistol. Confirmed.
What's the impact quality for the viewers at home, of course?
So impact so normally ranged weapons don't get impact, but we are doing stuff because he's an ogre. It's like an artillery piece, pretty much. So impact, if you have a weapon that does impact, it usually does an additional bonus damage. So for Nog, it's going to be your ballistic skill bonus in damage, which I don't think is super high yet. You can eventually get it high. It'll be probably like a +2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did take some advances in ballistics, so.
Yeah. Usually it's reserved for melee weapons, and it's usually your strength bonus. So, yeah. But strength bonus for him would be a lot, and kind of weird for a ranged weapon. So we're just kind of going with this.
It works.
All right.
Cool.
There you go, Nog.
Time to blow some shit up.
It is indeed time to blow some shit up. All right. that will bring us to, as that kind of happens, Nog, you kind of wander back to camp. And we are going to shift over to Luther Steinhauer. This will be kind of a big one, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, Luther.
Fourth.
First things first, Luther. You find yourself. This is technically before you are graced with your new robes and all your new trappings.
Okay.
This is a test of sorts, where you have Magister Alderbrand and Magister Weiss, with your mentor being missing. It has been organized between them and the colleges of magic that you are to be uplifted into your former master's position as one of the leaders of the expedition, as there is a vacancy that needs to be filled. Of course, no riffraff could be put in place, and while Magister Alderbrand has made it known that he sees no need for this test, Magister Wise demands that Luther prove himself. He demands that this individual do his best.
Oh boy. I don't like being put on the spot. I always fail when I'm put on the spot.
So Magister Wise and Magister Alderbrand are kind of in a darkened section of the Hoff estate. There's but a simple set of braziers to either side of them that are currently lit, illuminating the large, almost barn-like structure that you're in.
Okay.
Well, Luther, as Alderbrand begins to speak, it is unfortunate that we've lost our lady so early in the expedition, but the show must go on, as they say, and you seem like the perfect candidate, of course, to join our ranks. Well, you must perform the task. We will need you to summon the blades.
The blades?
If you
Sanguine
can.
blades?
That is what they are called by the peasant rabble, but sure.
Oh.
Summon the blades of Akshi.
Very well. Allow me to do a little bit of channeling. Call the winds.
Yes, channel all you need, Luther.
Thank you. Very wise. Alright, here we go. I'm going to do a channel test. Channel test. I'm nervous. 56. That would be... So that would be 3 levels of success.
3 levels of success. Okay.
That reduces the skill for the
test.
by 3.
How much do you have left?
I mean, for the sanguine sword, it's a challenge. If I'm using my staff, it's a challenge rating of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So now it would be a challenge rating of 2.
2.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Magister Weiss looks at you vehemently. He says, "Enough of this. You've spent enough time. Produce them now."
Oh boy, I'm nervous. All right, here I go. Oh, that's pretty good, bro. 4.
4.
So that would be
It's a lot of blades.
I mean, you've done it, and you've like
I've done it.
overcast. If you I mean, you can show off a little bit, I'm sure.
I think that's. I need to do some math real quick here. So that would be. That's +1, 2, -1.
Look at all this wizardry happening. That's why no
that'd be
one should ever
9.
play a wizard again.
That'd be 9 levels of success total, but then it would be -2 for the challenge rating. So 7 additional success levels.
7 additional
which would
success
mean,
levels.
I would get 1, 3 extra swords. So It'd be 4 swords total. Would
4 flaming blades erupt. All the brand. Oh my! Begins to clap. Wise just grits his teeth. Very good, Luther. Very good indeed. But what can you do with them? He snaps his fingers.
Oh no!
And as he does,
oh no!
An individual comes walking up next to Magister Wise, who kind of looks at you and just kind of smiles a little bit. He grabs a jar that the man has in his possession, and he whispers some words of power into it and tosses it towards you, Luther.
Okay.
It shatters on the floor.
Pokemon?
The clay breaks apart. As it does, a molten figure begins to bubble and elongate and grow as some kind of metallic molten humanoid creature begins to form. It begins to get larger and larger until it towers around 10 feet in the middle of this room, illuminating the space entirely with its fiery glow. And I'm going to need you to make some attack rolls, Luther, because this thing's going to try to kill you now.
Let's see. I need to read. They have a weapon skill of 60.
This creature is considered large, so you get a plus 10 to hit it.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Roll for the first one. Ooh, that's a miss. That's a miss.
I got to roll for defense though.
Oh, okay. That's true. I guess.
It passes.
Okay, so yeah, it misses. Yeah.
It does. It blocks it with one of its like flailing molten arms, kind of like smacks the blade aside as you try to strike it.
That's critical fail.
Critical fail. You gonna re-roll that one? You gonna let that one fly?
Took instinctive diction.
This is bullshit already. I already sensed bullshit coming.
I'll re-roll. I'm gonna re-roll it.
I sense it. I took this talent. You know, there's only 1,000 of them in this book. You can't
That's
possibly know them all.
This one is just a hit. It's a 67 or 70 if I get a plus 10.
I fail. That one goes through. How much damage?
It'll be 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Plus success level, so just 8. Yeah.
Slices into the creature. You have 2 more blades.
2 more blades. Here we go. Also 1 success level. An actual 1 success level.
I have just a success.
Well, then it would be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage going through. Okay. Slicing into it yet again. You have 1 more blade?
1 more, last one.
Go ahead and roll it. Ooh, I have
13.
I'm about to say I have 2 degrees of success on my roll here. It's not going to be enough though.
Okay. No, that's
I finally rolled good.
6 level. No, 5 level success.
5 level success. Yeah. All right. So what is that?
That would be
13. 13. Yeah.
Yep.
13 damage. Slashes into the creature. It, as the blades begin to sink in, it's trying to defend itself. It's having a hard time. Magister Weiss kind of, his eyes narrow. Before you defend yourself, Luther, because the creature is going to lunge towards you, you hear Weiss scream, "I know it was you! I know you did it!" And you can take a minus 20 penalty to your defensive roll, Luther. Whatever.
Oh, there's 20 penalty to my defensive roll?
You do have a because of your successful attacks, I will give you a point of momentum. So.
Okay, I'll get 1 point of momentum. Okay. Let's see here. I'm assuming I gotta dodge this then. So here
You
we go.
probably want to dodge, yes.
Yeah. That's pretty good, bro. I hope you don't get a crit.
A 4. No,
Uh,
that misses completely, Luther.
Okay. It
The
would
creature-
be
There's no
under
way, yeah.
50. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The creature lunges forward. It tries to like flail wildly. An extra arm pops out of its back that you don't expect, since it's like this amorphous, like molten liquid. You're able to dodge underneath the heavy blow, despite the riling from Magister Weiss. It's go ahead and make your attacks.
Okay. I don't get
Or do-
success levels for my Sanguine Sword, so it still will be just 60.
Yes.
Or, well, 70, yeah.
Yeah, so I will
um,
say, Luther, you're not locked into using the blades. If you want to do something else, I mean, you could do whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably stick with the blades.
Okay.
I don't have, I mean, if it's a molten creature, I don't have much that wouldn't, like, blow me up too. So,
Okay.
I'm
That's fair.
going to do the blades. Yeah.
All right. Continue your work.
Here we go. Ooh, that's 2 levels of failure.
You gonna re-roll it, Luther? You gonna let it fly, Luther?
I'm
Let it
gonna
fly.
let it fly. I'm gonna let it fly. I'll let it fly.
It's gonna miss this time because the
Okay.
creature, it does manage to actually bring its arm into place and hardens it, and it smacks against
Okay.
it like a shield.
Ooh, God damn it!
Critical fail.
Yeah, it's a critical fail.
You wanna re-roll that? You wanna do a miscast?
Well,
What was that big diction
it's-
talent you're talking about?
yeah, big diction. It's technically, I don't know how this would work either, because the spell is making the attack.
Yeah.
You know, it says it also, like, when I read the spell description, it's like, this is what it says. All right. So on every subsequent round, you can spin your action to direct the swords against a target within range of line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
The sword possesses the fly creature trait and strike weapon skill of 60 and deals 8 damage before
Mhm.
returning quickly to you.
Okay.
It says sanguine swords can be defended against normally and do
Mhm.
not accrue advantage.
Okay.
The swords can be dispelled, but otherwise are indestructible.
So hold
I
on.
don't know.
They're considered their own entities, is from the
Yes,
sounds
they're-
of it.
They're their own things. They're a fly
Mm.
creature. They're just indestructible. You can defend against them. I guess you could probably even try to hold them. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's not. It's like a summoned creature pet
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to try to, it's not really me making the attack, quote unquote.
Bastard.
You know?
Look, see what he's doing. He wants the rules lawyer this out of
Hey,
just
Your
rule
Honor,
lawyers it all the
Your
way.
Honor, please. I
Roll me a D100.
You're
sir.
not incanting, your magical speech, like
We'll just-
like Yondu whistling his little arrow around.
We'll just roll
I don't
on
think
the
so.
the critical fail for the weapons then.
Okay. Let's see here. I mean, because I do have also,
See, don't
That's
see.
the
Here he
big-
goes. Here he goes.
I do have big diction, and instinctive diction, and instinctive diction. It says you instinctively understand the language of magic and are capable of articulating the most complex phrases rapidly without error. You do not serve a miscast if you roll a double. It's only on a double, so a failure wouldn't count. So, yeah, it was only if I roll critical on a double. I don't have to roll a miscast table. But yeah, bro. 58 is what I roll.
Yes, you did. You are out of position. You have a -10 to penalty to all actions from here to your next turn.
Okay. My sword does or die? No.
And you know what? And we're gonna say everything does.
Whoa!
This is
damn,
bullshit.
bro.
Okay, I already did
Alright,
it to where it's
alright.
not a magic spell anymore. See, you keep taking. You just taking.
I don't think, bro. I don't think. It's a 90. It's a
Give me your
miss.
third attack.
That was my
This
third,
one
I
is
think.
also deflected as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not looking
Uh,
good, Luther. Last attack.
It's not. roll a 1.
A 1?
Yeah, a 1.
I rolled a 4. This is bullshit. I finally rolled really well here.
Nice, bro.
Is a 1 a crit?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought so. Yeah.
Like the ultimate crit.
A 1. A lot of
Well.
successes.
Well, Luther, despite your poor showing, Luther,
I thought I'd be okay.
how do you want to do this?
Yes.
As the swords are zipping around me, flying at every angle. Maybe Luther had planned it to be some sort of feint with some of the misses.
Of course.
And he as he blocks one, a sword comes flying underneath and pierces the creature underneath the jaw, finishing him off. And as he falls down, Luther dusts off his cloak. You want to pass, gentlemen?
As the creature bubbles on the floor, quickly turning into almost like a tarry substance, where then it hardens, cracks, and then dries rapidly. Master Wise looks severely displeased. His eyes are burning, literally. Just motes of flame pulling out of the sockets. He looks beyond furious, Luther. I will not accept this. I will accept this treachery. This. He just turns and begins to walk away. Aldebrand looks at you, Luther. You've done very well, my friend. And on behalf of the Colleges of Magic, I bestow you with the rank of Master.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we are not within the colleges, so you will not be allowed to request your own apprentice. Instead, I will be gifting you one of mine.
Oh. Do I know these apprentices?
You've probably seen them, but I doubt you had much interaction with them.
Okay. We're rivals, because
I
was once apprentice myself,
Yes, that's true. The one individual in question that is kind of walks forward. It appears to be a man in his mid-20s, so he is older than you, and yet he is your apprentice, Luther.
I'm talented.
He has a full beard. His head is completely shaved. There's strange kind of fire tattoos across the top of it. His name is Ashwin Kepler. He approaches you in the simple, humble robes of an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
He bows to you. He has something in his hand. He says, Ashwin Kepler, sir, at your service.
Ashwin, good to see you once more.
Yes, my lord. As he just kind of looks up at you, head still raised.
I hope this becomes a good start to a powerful master-teacher relationship.
Indeed. Indeed, I look forward to learning from you greatly.
Thank you. Please, if you don't mind, I am quite dusty. If you wouldn't mind fetching me some sort of a brush or something to clean myself, I would greatly appreciate it.
Of course, my lord. Of course. He hands out in front of him a it looks almost like a disc. It's about the size of like a small plate.
Mm-hmm.
It has 7 key holes on it.
Okay.
He hands it over to you, Luther. And then as you take it, he leaves your presence and goes to fetch a brush to dust you off with. Aldebrand looks at you, Luther.
Oh, yes.
You will, of course, be supplied with robes of station. You will find everything you need within the Ashen Chambers.
The Ashen Chambers. Do I know what the Ashen Chambers are?
He walks towards you and he gives you your 2 keys that you are going to receive.
All right, 4th and 5th keys.
Yes.
He says, of course, every master worth his salt will have to figure it out themselves, but let's just say it's quite obvious.
He slaps you on the back and then begins to walk away, jollily chuckling to himself.
Is it this lock? Does it look like a lock?
It looks like a disc with these, what they look like keyholes. It looks like there's 7 keyholes all over this thing.
Well, I'll start putting my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th keys in there.
You begin to kind of like try them one at a time, and then eventually they all fit into different ones, and there's still 2 that are open, essentially.
Damn.
But you turn them, the keys. As you turn all of them, they begin to click. And as they do, you feel a thrum coming from the device.
Magical in nature?
Yes, extremely. Just gonna sit there. You're just sitting in the middle of this room looking at it.
I am. I'm focused on it. Try to study it. Any kind of, do I sense any winds channeling towards it or anything? Or
you sense a strange amount of wind channeling towards it. Strangely enough, a lot of it is not Akshi.
Interesting. Okay.
It seems like this device was constructed with multiple winds in mind.
Interesting. So I get a sense of like, basically I assume I just need the other 2 keys to fully unlock this, I guess.
You're not sure why Older Brand would give you a device you couldn't use.
Okay, so I see. The winds that are being channeled currently, are they un momento?
Appears to be shadow,
Is it
light, fire, a couple different ones.
So I believe there's 8 winds of magic total, right?
There are 8, yes.
All right. Does it go Hashish, Shaman,
Like he's gonna do it.
Gairan?
So each key that you have has a almost like a series of mystical arcane letters on it, right? They each have weird shapes to them. As you begin to just study this over and over some more, trying to figure out what the hell to do with it, Luther, your apprentice, Mr. Kepler, comes back into the room. I have your brush, Magister Luther.
Thank you.
He begins to brush.
Feel free to call me Luther.
Yes,
Kepler,
Magister.
Very well, Kepler.
I mean, are you going to use that? Are you just going to look at it, sir?
I'm trying, sir. I don't quite understand. I must be missing something.
You jest, of course. A Magister would know how to use that device. No problem.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Kepler. Sometimes I find myself a little out of my depth. I tell the other apprentices.
Of course, sir. Why don't you try the door?
inside the doors of this building.
Sure.
I go to the door.
Okay. You go to the door. The doors are currently closed.
Okay. I open the door.
You look outside into the expanse of the courtyard of the expedition.
Don't understand, Kepler.
Kepler, place it on the door, Magister.
Interesting. And I place it on the door.
As you place it onto the door, it suctions itself into place.
Oh.
As it does, the keys that you have placed in them click once again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. What do you do, Luther?
It's exhilarating, Kepler. I'm quite excited. I open the door.
You open the door. As you open the door, where once the courtyard was, now is a small study.
Oh.
Very similar to your mistress's quarters.
Very interesting.
You
We've
notice
been
that
inside here before, Kepler.
I have not. It is not meant for the likes of me. Only magisters get their own rooms.
Well, that's a shame, Kepler. And I walk through the door.
You walk through the door. Close it behind you. Inside is the desk of your mistresses. The roaring fireplace, just like you saw before. The lack of the balcony is a little strange. Perhaps maybe your mistress modified her own quarters in some way. Perhaps you could do the same with enough time and experience. But you appear to be in some kind of strange space.
Interesting. I would like to examine the space. See if there's anything unique or interesting about it.
The one unique thing that you find, Luther, as you're looking over the desk, there's a bed nearby as well. But as you're looking over the desk, you see what appears to be a journal of sorts laying on the desk. As you look at it, as you touch it, Luther, a wave of fire engulfs the diary completely. It almost like goes up for a minute, but then they die off and the book is whole. On the outside, in Reichsspiel, is written, "For Luther."
Oh. I open.
You open the journal. There is what appears to be documentation and scrawled notes on the nature of the expedition. In particular, there is a how would we call this? There are notes on a pyromancer. There are fragments of what appears to be some kind of tattered memoir. The pyromancer's name was Magister Ubaldo Krieger.
Oh.
And the memoir suggests that he was sent on an expedition. With the notes that have been scrawled in here attached to the memoir, obviously in your mistress's hand, you've deduced that these are, apparently you are not the first expedition to be sent by the colleges of magic into the sands. It appears that Krieger was investigating a artifact of great implication to the study of Akshi that was found somewhere northeast into the lands of the dead. But due to circumstances that arose during his investigation, he has concealed a coded map that was left in secret as to the dig site of this artifact within the personal quarters of the, we'll call him the mayor of Sudenburg. As you're going over those notes, you see at the end of the well, actually, this would be before you even got to those. You see a handwritten message from your mistress. Luther, I don't know how much time I have left. I feel it pulling me. Something was done to me. I'm not sure when it started or how it began to happen. I have felt strange urges. I can feel the winds unbalanced within me. I know that you will handle what needs to be handled. There are traitors within our midst. And this isn't just the implications of those around us. We are not the first expedition, and the first met with also strife of unparalleled creativity. Be careful, Luther. Watch Wise. He seems off. I'm not sure, but something is strange with the other Magisters. Trust your gut. Bring those close that you can. And do us proud. Be the fire, not the fuel. That is the end of her message.
Trooper. Well, taking stock of the room and the letter, so we'll exit the room.
As you exit the room, you close the door behind you. The actual device, the plate, shrinks down to about the size of a pocket watch and drifts into your hand.
Oh, that's handy, Kepler. And
yes, it is. Must be good to be a Magister, to be able to literally take your room with you in everywhere you go.
I think it is, Kepler.
For all intents and purposes, Luther, you can attach the device itself to any entryway, and it will place your quarters there.
Am I the only one allowed to enter? Like, will it allow other people in?
It will allow other people to enter.
Oh, wow. That's useful. That's pretty cool. Kepler, we have much to discuss. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, Kepler, I'm a little bit of a, people say I have a way with people, and I get the sense you don't like me, Kepler. Is that true?
Of course, sir.
Kepler, you're going to be honest with me, Kepler. I shoveled coal like you, Kepler. My Mistress Rayner was quite the strict master. I assume Aldebrand was the same.
Of course, sir. Master Aldebrand is a very great, talented wizard. A pyromancer of unparalleled nature. One beyond repute, whose loyalty one devotes themselves to entirely.
I see. Well, over the next month or so, as we prepare to leave Lashik,
Yes.
I know we will come to know what I expect of you.
Yes, sir.
I am new to this, so I don't want you to sit there and think you can talk to me, Kepler. I don't feel I will be the same as my master, but I will need to test you some, Kepler. You know, both physically, mentally, and perhaps spiritually.
Of course, sir. He looks somewhat defeated.
To forge you in the fires of the crucible that is my apprenticeship.
Yes, sir.
So, let's think. Now, please, Felicity does need a good brushing. I'll leave you to it.
Yes, sir.
And good day. Once my clothes are ready, please bring them to me. I would greatly appreciate it.
Of course, Magister. As he just trods out to the stables to brush Felicity and complete his tasks in a timely fashion. As Luther has a manservant now, apparently. Less of a
apprentice.
Apprentice, more.
Hey, I'm Mr. Miyagi. He's gonna learn some stuff from this brushing.
He's gonna learn some shit, damn it.
Errand boy.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. With that, we will flip over to our last and final scene before we get into the big picture. Lucien. We open on Lucien. This is actually technically the same days. We're going to pick up with everything else. As Lucien, you currently find yourself. How do you normally practice, Lucien? If you're going to be practicing with perhaps another person? Like, what kind of attire do you wear?
I probably wouldn't wear like full armor. It'd
Yeah.
probably be just like a
Loose shirt, you know?
yeah.
Really, really loose, kind of like, you know.
And it would be with
Perhaps.
like it would be like with tournament weapons. It wouldn't be with like
Yeah, I'm assuming like your wooden
Really?
swords you just got, maybe.
yes, exactly.
You know, little open, you know, in the chest area.
If I can find
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
from the company who's willing to to cross blades with me.
Well, apparently
Or-
over. Yeah, apparently
Or
since
if there's dummies, if there's no one who's willing.
this
You know,
since the
I fancy myself, kind of from the mixed martial arts school of combat. I want to learn from everybody.
Okay.
I want to see what techniques are best from every school.
Strangely
is
enough,
is challenging the sensei as he walks in from the street. Yeah,
strangely enough, Lucien, this has been less of a looking for someone to learn from situation and more of someone has been trying to learn from you situation, Lucien.
I see.
And over the past month or so since the defeat of the Wa, there's been a few people under your command that you've taken command of that kind of showed promise in the fight. Specifically, as you are currently crossing swords, wooden swords, with a young dark-haired woman with piercing blue eyes and a slim but muscled frame. You would know her as Johanna Devry. And she also favors rapier. She's currently crossing blades with you. Is that the best you have? And we are entering combat, Lucia.
Oh.
So, she pivots and go ahead and roll me initiative. Then she actually gets to act first, Lucien.
Oh.
She pivots, spins away from you, and then using your own practice blade that you've given her. She's also in a similar style of dress. You both have been at this for at least an hour or so. Real sweaty in there, in this kind of enclosed space. picturing a very like Pirates of the Caribbean, like fighting around the armory shop scene here. As she slashes out towards you. Defend yourself, sir.
There we go.
Apparently her heart was not in it because she got 3 degrees of failure.
Ah.
So
I'm assuming this is my melee fencing
yes, it is.
straight.
Mhm.
It's 1 degree of success.
Okay. Are you going to use your riposte?
If it's available.
Sure.
If it's okay. So I'm pretty sure that's just.
Do you have to make an attack, or is it just hit? I'm curious.
Oh, I thought that I'd copy pasted that onto my sheet, but I did not.
See if I can find riposte in there.
Does my do these wooden training swords have the weapon has to have the fast quality?
Oh, it does.
Yes.
I mean, they're technically supposed to be in the styles rapier, so yeah, we'll say they do. Yeah.
Okay. Which says you respond with a counter strike of your own. When you are attacked, just as your action. If your weapon has the fast quality, you may cause damage when you are attacked.
Yeah.
Does that mean an extra attack roll?
No.
It just
No.
means that if I win,
If you win, you do the damage like so the 1 success level basically.
okay, so that'd be 8. Well, no. How much damage does a wooden sword do?
It's gonna so these are gonna be considered improvised weapons when it comes to
Okay.
damage. So it's strength bonus +3.
Wait, strength bonus +3?
Mhm.
That's like. Is that better than my rapier?
No, there's no way. Your rapier's way better than that.
I think only by 1. That would be 7 wounds.
7 wounds. With your success levels. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I will say, you trying to send a message, or are we just having like a good time, Lucien?
No, this is just
Okay.
yeah,
It's like a hearty smack. you know?
lighthearted competition. Yeah.
Yeah, you as she thrusts in, you kind of riposte easily out of the way, slapping her blade to the side, and then strike across the gut. She backs up. It's your turn. You can choose to do what you wish. You have a point of momentum. You can do whatever you'd like to do, Lucien.
I mean, I will take a swipe of my own.
Oh, you're aggressive. Lucien goes in.
I rolled the exact same thing. That's
And she also rolled almost the same roll, so it's going to be a failure.
that'd be 8, but yeah,
With the momentum, it's 9. So
that was with the momentum.
oh, it was okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you come in and once again across the chest, just like a jab right into her chest. She begins to like backpedal away. You see there's like a bruise already kind of starting to form. It is. I think I've had enough. You have something has gotten into you, my friend.
I've been a bit stressed lately. Do not mean to take it out on you.
Oh, no apologies needed. If I am to be your second, I must be willing to endure a little pain, yes?
My second, eh?
It is. That was a conversation, yes?
It is official.
Very well. Perhaps we will celebrate.
Yes.
Just give me a moment. I think I have some wine over here.
She moves over to the side
Okay.
where some of her gears kind of like lay down. You would know that she, if you choose, this can be done in Bretonnian because she is a Bretonnian. So she does speak the language. but she procures some wine, also some cheese,
Mm.
and brings it over. Has a nice sit with you, spreads it out. She's panting quite a bit. You know you got to work at it as well. Obviously not as much as her, but as she hands you some of the cheese, you will have to show me some more tricks of the trade.
In due course. You show much promise, but everything must be taken stepwise.
I have been working on my my quick draw.
Draw is very important. Everything starts from the footwork.
Indeed.
That is the foundation.
I also took your suggestion and I added a little flair.
And she kind of like stands up and she has like what looks like a half cape that covers her left arm. You see? Yes?
Theatricality and deception are powerful tools.
As she does that, she flips it to the side, and you see that there is a very small flintlock pistol that it was easily concealed, like on her waist, that she kind of like draws out with it in very quick succession. Aha! And then she
You have to take some inspiration from your design.
She holsters it again.
Of course, I am nothing compared to you. The mighty Lucien, slayer of orc, yes?
I had some lucky strikes.
That is no luck. We all know that we would have been overrun, possibly even routed entirely, if not for your efforts.
You're too kind.
Same time tomorrow?
Agreed.
Good. I have my duties to attend to. Thank you for indulging me.
She kind of packs her things, gets ready for her normal watch that she has to perform for the expedition.
What was your name again?
Her name is Johanna Devrie. Actually, technically Devry. Johanna space DE space VRY.
Mm.
I think I'm pronouncing that right. Devry, right? Yes, maybe.
Devrie sounded better.
Devrie.
Devries. Devries
Yeah.
does sound better. We'll just say Devry. You would know, Lucien, that she joined the expedition right before you guys left Talea for your initial voyage across the sea. So she's one of the original, quote-unquote, members of the current expedition. She's part of the Bold Bastards.
Got it.
And now she apparently is trying to work her way into becoming your second Lucien. Trusty
All right.
second, one might say.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I love it.
Good. With that out of the way, let us... actually, that'd be a good time. Let's go ahead and take our first break.